Hi, my name is Mecca Naeem, co-founder of Urban Anime, and I am here to have a very, very special conversation with a activist, a community leader, a organizer, and an all-around film OG, Miss Ina Norris, the founder of the Kwanzaa Film Festival.
Hi, Mecca. How are you?
I'm so good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. Actually, I just want to put a little plug in. Right here, I'm at a place called Heavenly Bless, and they have done a makeover, and it's really, really special because they're about what we're about. And I went there purposely to support a Black-owned business in Brooklyn. So, they gave me this makeover and it was great. So I just want to say that from the beginning. But thank you. Let's chat.
Well, you look fabulous, and thanks for supporting Black business. That's wonderful as always. So I just wanted to ask you some questions about what inspired you to do a film festival. Like why did you start Kwanzaa Film Festival?
Well, okay, first of all, my family and I have celebrated Kwanzaa for over 30 years. And, I feel like the Kwanzaa principles can be incorporated in the arts, particularly. And oftentimes, we go to film festivals and our main focus is, trying to get on, trying to get someone to notice us, trying to see who we can see. And I was like, what if there was a festival surrounding collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics, unity, self-determination? And instead of going to a festival saying, pick me, that we're getting together and we're embracing the idea of working together and actually I'm giving what you need, you're giving me what I need. So I like, let's bring the community together with a new idea, with a new paradigm, a way for us to work together and to become successful together. And that's one of the reasons I thought of doing a Kwanzaa Film Festival. And I have to thank Milana Moringa for even thinking about Kwanzaa, because if he didn't think about it, maybe I might have came up with a new idea, but at least that thought that was here for so long, I had somewhere to pull from.
Wow, that's so beautiful. And my favorite part about Kwanzaa is the fact that it was a holiday created by Black people for Black people. All Black people, Pan African people, anybody who can relate to the Black experience. So I definitely think that it is super important for the film community to engage or as super aligned with um, the film community engaging when cooperative economics and Kwanzaa in of itself, those two things are super aligned. Um, so there are many ways to bring people together, right? So why choose a film festival? Do you want to tell me a little bit about your history in the film industry? What you do? Do you write?
Well, I started in theater, a playwright for many, many years. And theater is important and it expresses so much. But who controls the narrative controls the story. And I realized that film is something you could do and it can be shown everywhere at the same time. You can bring it wherever you want it to go. And I just said, if we're not going to control our narratives, we're not going to control the story. How we're going to be described and how people are going to envision Black people all over the world is based on who is telling that story, who is being able to spread it and show it. So that was one reason. Secondly, I wrote a couple of shorts and I would go to film festivals and I would want more. There's one thing about having context and there's another thing about having content. And I feel like the Kwanzaa Film Festival was content. It was more than just a moment. We can build community, we can build alliances, and we can talk about it freely. And no one could be exempt from it because everyone has a story that is acceptable if it's their true story. So, that was one of the things. But I wanted to bring people together. I was doing some think tanks on film and theater, and it just didn't seem to be enough. I felt that I needed to give people an opportunity to hear people that they normally wouldn't hear speak, get knowledge that they wouldn't normally get. So that was one of the reasons why I thought it was important to have the Kwanzaa Film Festival. There's so many festivals. There's so many different I would just say symposiums that some people, how they say, quote unquote, the starving artists, they can't afford to go to everything. And so I wanted to do something that could be available to most people. And the other thing that was special about the Kwanzaa Film Festival, for the last 3 years, we were able to break bread with our community. So we would also feed you, because Kwanzaa means harvest, first fruit. And we were able to feed. And when you break bread with your community, when you're concerned about whether they're eating or not, it took on a whole nother life form. Nothing that I've ever went to. I've never went to a film festival where I got to eat with my filmmakers and it wasn't a price. It wasn't paid for. It was cooperative economics. It was collective work and responsibility, because some of the local restaurants in Harlem would donate for us to feed our guests and our filmmakers. So that was another thing. It was really something a little bit more divine. I'll use the word divine because I can't put it in any other kind of way. Yes.
That's so beautiful. And we always need to see more kindness in the community. So thank you for that. Can you tell me what you're most excited about for this year's festival?
Well, there's a number of films that deal with COVID-19, and they're unexpected films in places I would never think of. Like someone uses dance choreography to express COVID-19 in a story about Harriet Tubman. So just imagine Harriet Tubman, COVID-19, and dance. A very, very exciting piece. There is also pieces on mental health. Finding Elijah is a film that really deals with artists and mental health. We have some great workshops coming. We have a workshop on how to produce from the USA to Africa as a collaborative. And we have someone coming from Africa, from Nigeria, the Nollywood movement, to come and speak with our filmmakers here. We have Casting While Black, talking about inclusion when and how. And we have some casting directors coming to drop some jewels. There's just so many different people coming to speak. We have the score, how to get your music in a film and television. We have Bruce Miller from Mary J. Blige's Productions. We have an attorney from Sony coming in. It's just so many great moments that we're going to create. Also, the fact that we're going to have these 7 workshops and these 7 blocks of films, and the 7 film blocks are named after the principals. We have emerging women directors. We have Black male writers. We have cooperative economic documentaries. We have Kwanzaa cinematographer focus, and there's just so much that's going on this year, and it's going to be online, it's going to be virtual, but we are going to have access to make the community be able to speak with each other and get to know each other, and be able to communicate to establish long-lasting relationships.
That's so wonderful. If you guys haven't yet, go ahead and buy your tickets to the Kwanzaa Film Festival. Purchase a block, show up to our events. It's going to be really great. So can I ask you 3 personal questions and then we'll be done?
Sure. Sure.
Um, so first, if you could have dinner with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Well, right now I have to just be totally serious about this. COVID-19 hit us really bad. And of course, for me, that question has to come with my father. And I have to give a tribute to him because for the last 3 years, my father did the libation and the Kwanzaa celebration for the Kwanzaa Film Festival. We always have the libation where we call out our ancestors' names even before we start the festival. We call out Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth. However, however, during the worst part of COVID-19 in April, my father caught it and he did not make it. And I feel like his spirit is still here with us because he is the one that introduced me to Kwanzaa. And he, I remember before COVID-19, he wanted to support the American Black Film Festival. It's like, we're going to go together this year. And that's so beautiful because his daughter does a Kwanzaa Film Festival, but yet and still he's not a filmmaker, but loves films. Yet and still he wanted to go and support the American Black Film Festival. And that's another workshop that I just want to tell you that we are getting Black Film Festival organizers together to talk about the state of Black film this year. So I'm really excited about them all being brought together. But to say I would love to have one more conversation with my father, an insight of how he feels about what we're doing. And, I just want to honor him in this moment that you asked me that question. Of course, it would be him. Thank you for asking.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you so much for that. What motivates you to be in the arts?
Well, I think yeah, it does take motivation because sometimes it can be a struggle, but I always like the arts. Since I was little, I love storytelling, poetry, was introduced to jazz through my dance teacher, Miss Beard at the Vanette's Cultural Workshop. I like to give honor to people who introduced me to the arts. My father wrote poetry. My mother is very artsy in terms of design, interior design, and there was music playing. So the arts is something very natural to me. But I want to say, I went to Hampton Institute, now called Hampton University, and that institution has definitely influenced me because as I was a closet writer, they brought speakers there that like Sonia Sanchez in particular. She definitely encouraged us to take what we have and put it into the arts and go out there and share it with others.
That's so wonderful. Wow. Shout out to Sonia Sanchez. She's really one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah,
Writers, speakers, orators, oral historian. Love it.
right.
Okay, last question. What are you currently binge watching?
Okay. Okay, what I'm currently binge watching, surprisingly enough, it is, I want to say, what is that place in Brooklyn? Um, Young students going to
Grand
school,
Army?
Grand Army.
Okay.
Want to hear something fascinating? When I binge watch something, I don't just watch it, I go and find out a little more about it. They have had 4 Black directors on Grand Army.
Wow.
Yes, and that was impressive. And the fact that they have a story surrounding